It's good to talk with you again. I'm Ardeep. Looking forward to speaking to you today about post-GST India supply chain transformation. And I'm sorry if I pronounced your name incorrectly. So my first question is, what is your opinion on the key challenges about pre-GST?
Yeah, pre-GST, if you see the supply chain decisions were driven by fiscal cost and the tax laws consideration rather supply chain efficiencies. The organization design their supply chain network to maximize the available tax exemptions and shelter the way of differential tax rate across the states within India. The companies operate several warehouses all over India to avoid interstate central sales tax, and the state border checkposts are cumbersome and time consuming for interstate transportation. Local levies like Octroi, entry tax, etc. was actually increasing the cost of goods and plus delay in terms of your transit times. Working capital is getting blocked because of multiple taxes levied at various stage of inventory storage and movement. And importantly, the another key challenge is like small and inefficient warehouse operation at a multi-location leads to higher operation costs, including information technology cost as well. Similarly, the higher material handling costs due to multiple layer of distributions and very few the foreign companies were doing investment in terms of specifically in terms of space of warehousing because of high fragmented the warehousing space across India and was not attractive for global players to invest. And this was actually the major challenges pre-GST.
Oh, well, what is your opinion on GST and its impact on supply chain?
Yeah, importantly, if you see that post GST, what happened now? Earlier, the tax was origin based. So now taxes become destination based. That means that whichever state is having a more consumptions of goods will be able to get more benefit in terms of this GST point of view. The post GST taxation will link to the destination now. When you see that there are six key strategic levers will emerge, and the first strategic lever is in the area of import and export, where new port of entries for sea and air shipment will emerge, and within that, infrastructural investments and automation for green channel is going to be a watch out for. Then second important factor, which is for import and export, is manufacturers and importers will push all the imports near the consumption of port because post GST the consumption based taxation is going to be there. The whichever state is going to be have more consumptions, they'll try to just see that so that they can able to have cost efficiency. Second strategic lever is going to be happening in terms of the space of manufacturing, where a lot of re-engineering is going to happen. New manufacturing corridors or hubs sector specific will emerge linked to the product consumption again because it's again destination based tax. Manufacturers will explore the direct stock supply to regional stockists to avoid inventory storage domestically, and manufacturing will link to the lot many things like domestic consumptions, major import export nearby, flexible manufacturing setup solutions will emerge. And a lot of companies will see in future in India also, there's a lot of merger and acquisitions will happen because they will see that there's a good potential in terms of grow the market because the country will be having a uniform tax across. And the fourth important factor under manufacturing will be a change in supplier landscape because then new supplier parks sector specific will emerge. Okay, these are the two important strategic lever. Third strategic lever when you're talking about is distribution and network optimization. Earlier also we talked about pre-GST scenario. Most of companies were having different warehouses across states, okay, because to avoid central sales tax. Now they will move towards a demand and consumption driven as opposed to tax driven supply chain. No need to set up a distribution warehouse centers in every state. The tax disincentives or the interstate sales or supplies will disappear. India will operate as a single stack country. This simplifies the supply chain network within the country. Shift from state to national focus and end-to-end supply chain network integration that will emerge, and the cost to serve model will assess how your cost versus service for warehouse service consolidation is going to happen. Okay, Transportation will see a major changes due to increasing long haul distance and last mile distribution requirement changes. And important factor in this network optimization as well, new multi-mode transport solution will emerge. Maybe people then a lot of customers will start, or service provider will start providing services for road, rail, and sea combinations. And where I think so you can see as well, government is also doing a lot of investment to do the space where we can able to see some changes within India. And the fourth important factor, which is I can see that there is value-added services will be also emerge, where people will see as a new business model delivering value-added services, where warehousing operation team will focus on physical operation of inventory management, pick, pack, and dispatch, but activity like information technology, data entries, this will be purely back-end, where your customer service, order to cash, return management, transport control tower, or MIS data analytics, or your operational excellence sort of centralized activities will emerge as center of excellence for value-added services. And along with this, importantly, the fifth element which will happen for channel strategy, because when you see the overall supply chain, channel do also makes a lot of difference, because where the most of things which is actually going to the end customer, then from that perspective, distribution channel consolidation or rationalization will lead to the big stockists will emerge to manage distribution within states or regions and across India. And within that, there are important factors. Three elements will come out. There is a direct supply from factory to big stockists can happen, or currently, if you see most of India before GST, a lot of times inventory was getting pushed to the stockist. Now there will be push-based demand will happen, so that the future material or inventory management will have really good innovative solutions which is going to come, and inventory will surely going to come out with some automation technologies will emerge real time using some data analytics. So that's something is going to be good to watch out for. And importantly, the organized retail channel also will focus on rather than only metros. I think so they'll also try to focus into tier 1, tier 2, or tier 3 towns expansions, and direct supply from factory to these centralized location of organized retail will happen. So mainly what will happen because of this, the channel strategy will be see some change, and the new business models will emerge in terms of how the most of companies are doing business. The sixth very important factor linking from channel strategy, if you see that, the new business models like using technologies will emerge, like disruptive technologies currently is a buzzword that's being normal, and the GST will be an enabler for most of sectors to strategize and deploy new business models like e-commerce, which is online or marketplace. And important factor, the unique new concept which is people are talking about is, and the most of companies are strategizing about, is omni channel business model. And this we can see the high potential to grow, where you can see e-commerce and physical traditional business will come on the same platform. These are the changes I can see as the 6 levers will emerge post GST within India.
And what is your opinion on consolidation of warehouses post GST?
Yeah, if you see, I think so. We just talk about that. The warehouse consolidation is linked to purely cost to serve, and when you talk about important factor is in terms of this will involve supply chain network optimization based on each sector needs and go to market strategy. And in addition to that, to optimize their channel strategy and inventory, because there are a lot of things we need to keep in sequence. We have to consider before we are taking a decision in terms of consolidation warehouse. In some sectors where optimal customer service requirement means delivery lead time is critical factor, there will be a fewer changes in their existing supply chain, though some degree of consolidation will happen basis of center of gravity versus their supply delivery lead time, which is less than 12 hours or 24 hours. So that can be also a factor a lot of clients, a lot of customers will be looking into. In sectors where cost is a key strategy driver, there is major possibility of warehouse consolidation. The organization will operate with the national or regional hubs, or maximum like 3 to 5 warehouses across India. It's being economically more viable to simplify distribution network and merge warehouses into 3 to 4 major regional centers. Greater scales means a greater process optimization as market moves towards advanced 3PL offering. Demand versus supply chain delivery leads time. They will be saying that they can deliver the goods to end customer within 72 hours. But some of the sectors will see the both mix. They want to see the cost as well. They want to see the service as well. So from that perspective, they'll number of warehouses will have depends upon what strategy they want to use in respective regions or respective states. Accordingly, they can use the mix of the strategy of somewhere they can use cost, somewhere they can use service, and they can link that to their center of gravity. So going forward, what we see in India, the traditional way of storing the goods like godowns, or you can see that people talk about that where they used to store. So now the big box warehouses is going to emerge, and the big box warehouse will have elements like that can be a build to suit for customer if they are having a requirement is bigger in terms of space, or some of the 3PLs will come out with the shared warehousing space for a multiple client, which is called as a multi-client warehousing facility, which I think so can offer greater flexibility, synergies of scale, where you can able to see that your infrastructure can be get shared, people can be get shared. Then in terms of your OPEX cost also can be get shared, and you can also see you are going to pay per use. You can able to do that, and plus when these multi-client warehouses are going to come and multi-clients are coming inside the warehouse, what is going to happen if your last mile delivery from that warehouse is going to be the same, then ultimately there is a chances of consolidation of transportation so that you can able to deliver the things with a lesser cost and with a faster lead time. So that's also going to happen. So important factor when you see when a consolidation which is going to happen, as per my opinion, when I see the overall assessment, when you do the overall multiple sectors assessment, and the multi-client warehouses are possibly will be coming in terms of, let's say, Mumbai, Nagpur, Ahmedabad, the NCR region. Then you can say Calcutta, Guwahati, Hyderabad, Chennai, Bangalore, and these are like the key strategic locations where most of these big box warehouses will be coming in India.
And my final question is, what's your opinion on transportation post GST?
Yeah, if you see, I think so the major change which is going to happen in terms of the supply chain in India is transportation, and I'll just give a glimpse to in terms of what is current transportation into India. The current India's transportation, when we talk about supply chain, the 70% of cost is purely because of transportation, because the overall delivery lead time and overall the area within the country in terms of and the complexity within India to distribute the goods. And when you see the transportation in India at this point of time, almost like a single truck owner who's driving the truck or owning the truck, who's having actually the 75% of the overall market size. That means that the entire industry is purely unorganized. And post GST, we see that is transport industry is going through the major change, and the network optimization is going to link to, let's say, your business to business or business to customer business models, driving reduction in movements of good within the primary, and the second and last mile transport is going to increase their long haul movements, okay, because the warehouse will get consolidated and movement from your factory to warehouse will reduce, but your last mile customer, which is going to be earlier, which is very near to them, will increase from that perspective. But for some sectors, I think, so when you see that the primary and secondary movement will club as a single movement due to the warehouse consolidation as well. But interstate distribution, when you see the FTL volume for multiple customer consolidated to larger capacity truck to reduce cost per ton, that's going to happen. And for last local distribution or last mile distribution, when you see that, so a lot of customers are going to see in terms of the milk run to be used when they're making a multi-customer deliveries. And from that perspective, I think so it's companies are going to look into technology-based solutions, which is like your route optimizations or how we can able to load their goods. Importantly, what will also happen, customers will see that how telematics can be used, then how onboards devices will be used in terms of sensor like GPS, so that they can able to track the movements of goods, so that they can able to make the delivery. Some of the customers see that, I think so, there is a side curtain vehicles, or the new technologies using sensors or IoTs. These kind of fundamentals are going to come purely for cold chain movements of goods. The removal of, I think so, check posts and entry tax will also have a following benefit, like including reduction in vehicle halt at check posts, and there'll be improved delivery lead time. Vehicle utilization also will be better, because then I think so bigger vehicles can able to load. Reverse movements also possible. Then ultimately, once you have a reverse movement, then you can, that economies of scales in terms of your, when you're going to get reverse load, the transportation cost, you can able to see the benefits from that perspective, and greater transport capacity due to efficiency improvement. In long run, this will improve the cost economics, and have really benefit for carbon emissions within a country. And the similarly, I think so earlier also I just mentioned to you that there are new mode of transport using sea and rail will also emerge, but linked to new government policies to support the same, because how the government is coming and all that. I think so government is currently, India government is really putting efforts in terms of how Sagarmala project, which is coming, which can able to drive some movements within using sea as a parcel movements or goods movement. And similarly, they are also pushing in terms of how rail network can be used in terms of, already rail is being used, but I think so they are trying to make it more professional way in terms of doing that. And technology based solutions, they importantly will provide end-to-end transport movement visibility and manage day-to-day operations and transport market capacity. And these are the new trends which is there, and you will see some new the way of the operations, a new way of transportation within country, and that surely is going to have a customer delight.
Thanks for sharing today.
Thank you.